Special thanks to GEPRC for sending me their latest and greatest 1.6 inch to review, the DarkStar16. I always love the name Darkstar because it reminds me of the prototype aircraft in the latest Top Gun movie, which is super sick. So now let's have a look in the box. Wow, now this is some next level packaging design. So it looks like we have a spare gray canopy, in case you want to change it up. Got some spares underneath, we'll have a look at that later. We got some sort of camera protector in orange and gray. Wow, got another set of ducks in here. And I just noticed this, a mini landing pad, how cute. GEPRC is always so generous with their spare parts. What an amazing kit. The motors are 1003 14,800 kV with GEM fan 1636-4 in a props out configuration. The canopy and ducts are all injection molded, very strong, durable, and impact resistant. There's a hard mounted XT30, which is a lot neater than some loose wires hanging out the back, and a nice clip style antenna holder designs for both the RX and VTX antennas. The base is a super solid and thick piece of 2.5mm carbon fiber. The battery mount is 3D printed TPU, and GEPRC recommends using 2S530 mAh HV lipos, which fit perfectly in this sleeve. Definitely a lot of thought and detail has been put into this tiny frame. The canopy is fixed with 4 vibration dampening balls. This helps minimize jello and provides a clean gyro signal when using electronic stabilization, such as Rocksteady and GyroFlow. On top of the Taker F411FC is a 3D print which can neatly hold an external Nano RX. However, this version I'm using has built-in eLRS 2.4G. You can access Betaflight by plugging in a micro USB at the bottom, and 8-bit BlueJay ESC firmware is already installed. Judging from these camera mounting holes, the quad looks to be mainly designed for the DJI O4 Pro, and just know that using any other camera or VTX system will require some sort of modification or 3D printed adapters. The top canopy features 25.5 by 25.5 mounting for your VTX. The ducts feel very strong and impact resistant. Since they sent me the WTFPV version, it comes with a plug-and-play wire to install your spare DJI O4 Pro. GEPRC also sells the complete BNF with O4 Pro available on their website. In the box, we have a USB to micro USB cable, supporting instructions, cool stickers. Look, it's the DarkStar16. I think it would have been cool to include some racing stripes to really dress up the quad. Got spare props and what? Wow, a shorter coaxial cable's included. Mind blown. I've never seen that before. Very generous. We have tweezers, spare dipole antennas. Wow, that's a lot of them. We got a lot of screws. And a thingamajigger, no idea what that is. We have an Allen key and a little pin to push the bind button on the VTX. We got a carbon fiber keychain and some sort of battery pad where I have no idea where it goes. Prop removal tool, screwdriver, and a spare RX Nano holder. That's a lot of stuff. Now let's put in my spare O4 Pro. All you have to do is remove a total of 6 screws, and the canopy and ducts come right off the carbon fiber base plate. Carefully slide in the O4 Pro components, and using your 4 M2x5 screws, bolt in the O4 Pro VTX. Using the 2 M2x3.5 screws, bolt in the bottom side of the camera. Since we are using this camera helmet thing, I used another 2 M2x5 screws to bolt that in along with the top side of the camera. It's a bit fidgety, but plug in the wiring now. Connect back your receiver antenna to the FC but be careful, it feels really fragile. Carefully align everything back and install the 6 screws. Finally, you can clip in your VTX dipole antenna. As for the batteries, thankfully I have these two 550 mAh 2S HV LiPos to try out on this quad. They fit perfectly in this little TPU holder. It would be nice if GEPRC had more options to fit larger batteries to get longer flight times. The quad weighs only 84 grams, and with the 2S 550 HV LiPo, it weighs 110 grams. I think you can easily modify the quad to make it lighter if you want, like removing the camera helmet and the XT30 holder. Alright, I'm excited, let's go fly. Alright, so I'm here at a shoot right now, and it's a pretty nice property here in the west end of Vancouver, and I brought this, the DarkStar. So they market it towards like simple outdoor flight and also really good indoor flight. And yeah, let's see how it does in a nice space just like this with the 04 Pro camera. So I already set it up in beta flight with all my fly-through settings. Looking forward to seeing what this thing can do. Alright, so I just did my maiden flight. First initial impressions upon liftoff was it's a bit louder than I imagined. Ducted quads I've flown all have a bit of a high-pitched shriek to it. It echoes more as you're indoor, and simple prop-guarded quads and open prop quads are much quieter, but they obviously lack the full protection and durability of a fully ducted quad, just like the DarkStar16. Flying through the house, I was really surprised. It was rock solid and easy to control through the sticks. I think this would be a great tool to learn or even do some professional interior fly-throughs. It was very stable, going briefly outdoor as well. I didn't feel the wind pushing it around or anything like that. The moment I landed, the battery was ready to tap out. I got around 2.5 minutes of flight time. It's good enough for one pass of a small house just like this one, then you'd have to swap batteries. In the description below, I'll put a link to my fly-through settings and you can try it out for yourself. Okay, so now we're outside at a beautiful park to do some outdoor testing. It's a little windy too, so that's definitely a bonus to test out this little guy's capabilities. I have the camera angle tilted up just a little bit higher, and I want to just see how good she rips. I'm going to gap some trees and do some mild freestyle as well. So let's go. So I got at least 2 packs in. The quad flies really fast, and again, easy to control. It's definitely more quiet outdoors as the sound is muted by the ambience and the wind noise and the traffic, of course. The quad's barely noticeable because it's not that big. And I didn't do much freestyle, but I did dive down a few trees and didn't run into any issues at all. It felt very smooth, and actually the power feels very balanced, and it's super fun to fly fast and low. Although the quad is kind of wide for a 1.6 inch, it's still compact enough to gap branches, gap the trees quite easily. And I bumped into a few branches along the way, and the ducks guarded the props really well, so I never span out of control or anything like that. I didn't test the range capabilities of this quad, and it doesn't have GPS, so I personally wouldn't fly it further than 1 kilometer, just in case. If you fail safe for any reason, well, good luck finding it. And after landing, I was still getting around 2.5 minutes of flight time. I think the DarkStar16 is suitable for novice FPV pilots looking to learn professional interior filming, fast cruising, to shoot small events, or just traveling light and getting some cool shots. It could definitely freestyle, but honestly, I wouldn't do it with this because I need to point out again, this whole top canopy part and its heavy VTX components is held on only by 4 tiny rubber balls. There's a chance the canopy can fly off in a really bad crash, and the wires and stuff will tear right off the pads of the flight controller. Also, the camera lens is not completely protected. It kind of sticks out a little bit past the plastic, so be careful. Carrying a DJI O4 Pro though is a bonus. It is state-of-the-art video tech and transmission technology in such a small, compact, inexpensive form. But just remember, if you want to put any other VTX in this frame, you may need to specially design adapters or custom 3D prints. When you're ready to upgrade for better efficiency and longer flight times, you can easily move your DJI O4 Pro to a bigger frame, such as the Cinelog 25 or 30. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you want to know what interior fly-through settings I used for the DarkStar16, you can find it in the description below. Also, if you purchase from any of the affiliate links, I get a small commission so I can keep bringing this type of content for you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.